How's it going, guys? Welcome to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. I said that right? Like, I'm always doubting myself, but it's Katawa Shoujo. Alright, last time we got a really crazy introduction to a very interesting plot. The idea of a high school student going through pretty much one of the worst things that could happen when it comes to shaking up your life, discovering he has a debilitating and highly, deadly heart condition, something that triggered during an exciting moment when his crush confessed to him, effectively, saying that she wanted to go out with him. That just kind of derailed his entire life, and now he's attending this high school where people who have strong physical medical needs can attend, where they can be supervised by somebody medical, but can still kind of have a high school life. We've met a few of the characters so far. Like, off the top of my head, I'm still not being able to remember them super well. I'll remember them when I see them. I'm very much a visual person, but yeah, so we'll see. They just gave us kind of a quick half tour-y thing, but they had to get going. Then we went and met the nurse, who seems very interesting. So we talked with him, and now we are heading back. I'm guessing we're going to go find our room, which means we might be looking to a roommate soon. I'm guessing we're going to share some kind of dorm. So I don't know if we'll have one person, or maybe like when I was in my first dorm, at college, there were 6 of us in a 3-bedroom apartment, so we each had a direct roommate, and then there were a few other flatmates as well. So I don't know what to expect here. Thank you guys so much. You've given me some cool trivia, like these places. I guess kind of thought these look real photos that have been kind of digitized to look a bit more artsy. And I guess it's based on some kind of university building in real life. So it's cool to hear about that. And also, if you are wondering, there's apparently been a poll. I threw out the idea because I thought it would be nice, and somebody actually did it, so I'm very grateful to whoever started that. But on our Discord page, in the spoiler zone for this game, apparently there's a link you can go to where you can take a poll, where you can try and guess which ending I'm going to get. Because as you know, on this channel, unless there's like a true ending that we need to show, per se, I only show one ending. I'll probably play through on my own and see the other ones, but ultimately, I only show one. For anybody who happens to be watching the series who's never played this game, especially because this one's it's free, you just download it. That way you can have something for yourself to explore. I don't want to take all the joy of reading a visual novel away from you if this is something you're sampling. But I also want to be able to share with you my experience and thoughts. So thank you for that. So link in the description for the Discord channel if you want to hop on and take that, and also just participating in other ways as well. So the music really died down there. It kind of shocked me. I thought something was going wrong. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump back into it because I've been rambling long enough. Alright. I ended up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look like one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Well, then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? Or one of us? I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. One thing I think would be odd, though, is I'm sure there's people who are going to have to be on crutches or have walking aids or even in wheelchairs at this school. Obviously, they'd have ways of getting in and out, but it is interesting that they would space the buildings out that far. Maybe they have special short-range dormitories that are for people who just, traveling is just painful and maybe, overwhelming. But otherwise, imagining this place is pretty freaking nice. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. Oh, there's weird drawings right there. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide enough to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner to the common room door. Instead, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Okay. Seems that only girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climbed to the stairs to the upper floor. Thus it is for all dating sims, huh? You rarely have more than one guy friend. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Wow, that shockingly looks like the hallways to the teacher's offices at my university. Like, almost exactly the same. Each of the mirror halls seems to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. Aw, that sounds like it's the crappy kind of dorms where you have to share a bathroom with a whole bunch of other people on the floor. It gets messy quickly, and unless they have someone who's hired to clean it, it means chart rotations, and there's inevitably going to be somebody who won't keep up with their darn chores because people are stupid and lazy sometimes. It's so frustrating. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. Guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly, which is funny. 117 is a number, like, I mean, it's associated with a character in Halo for sure, but it's funny because it's like my lucky number, ironically. I wonder what that's going to happen. It won't mean anything, but I do feel like I see that number all the time. Hello, is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements and the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh dear, who are you? Oh, he looks like he's going to be a handful. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, not at least completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until I notice that they're almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Oh, great. He also looks like he's a wannabe Gryffindor right there, so, you know, already a bit of a red flag. Hisao Nakai. That's right, I'm saying that right. Hisao Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I moved in the room next door. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization as he stands upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude? My name's Kenji. Oh, hello, Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. Doesn't that apply to him, though? He's saying, like, you can't judge a book by its cover. But he was judging a book by its cover by saying they were suspicious. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I should get to know you? I shouldn't get to know you either? He's like, please. He thinks about this for a while. Yeah, train. A wise decision. Dang, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. What do you look like? I hope not. Wait, what? He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind. It doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment and switches the door handle and shuts the door behind him. Okay, I don't think he's entirely blind, but he's probably, like, legally blind. I met someone who had that condition where, like, if they weren't wearing glasses or their special contacts, they literally just they could see, but everything was just such a blur. They were practically like they were just a danger to themselves. I set the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, and a desk made of some kind of light wood. Ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Oh, that was very kind of them. Also, it seems there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of my shirts. Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things, made your bed. They said that if it doesn't fit, you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would have been something to do. Still too early. I put the note down on my desktop and lay down at my bed, feeling drained. Laying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. Not a bad thing to be conditioned to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe the stress or something. Yeah, I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day too. Still am, I think. Dang, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural. All the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library, and I clicked too quickly, but that's what the light said. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottle of medicines neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, then I read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Dang. Doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? It's funny because my wife actually works in a pharmaceutical company. So she helps develop these types of products, but they are very specialized. And she currently is working on a lot of projects that focus on like the more unstable medications, the ones that need to be transported very carefully and delivered carefully. She studies the chemical components that make them up to make sure that they don't break down under typical shipping circumstances, like being jostled or dropped, having temperature fluctuations, to make sure that the components inside do not break down so much to make the medicine inert. Anyway. With a sigh, I begin my new daily routine of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. Oh man, that's one of the worst things. Like if you're heavily medicated for whatever reason, is if you mess that up somehow or forget something, like you can totally screw your whole life up. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after I kept staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Dude, get a book. Doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Seeing the light shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons to me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I kept drifting further away from the world I knew. Hope we set an alarm. And... oh, cute. No transition. Sweet. Morning of the second day. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shivers against the light gray ceiling. I'd forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Man, that's one of the worst feelings, though. Like, when you sleep somewhere, like, new, and you wake up in that first, like, split second where you just don't know where you are and you kind of panic a little bit. Huh? This is my room, isn't it? My room? This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that, indeed, it's me who's supposed to be the one living here. Put up some posters, man. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stared at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out the pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniform's in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh clothes against my back is a good one, a natural one. Feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday. Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't all that normal, but I'm sure the others are. Or perhaps people like them are what pass for normal around here? Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? And what passes for normal places, too? Like, we're all weird. Did see a lot of kids hanging around after class yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. So, I wonder if I should join one. Probably. All through class, the questions remain on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. I like Shizune so far. Although, there is a bit of a barrier. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so the top is perfect and evenly flat. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you want from me? Oh, I see. That is a good question. He-chan? My first thought is that she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone's encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. Oh, fair point. Man, all locked on the campus. Can't even go to a movie or something, probably. There's also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Ichan. The truth is a local event. I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, who asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. She definitely oh man, I wish she could talk. She sounds like she'd be fun. I'm sure she's still fun, but it's I bet she'd be fun to do the reading of the lines, because she seems like she would have the very elevated type of speaking. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disappointed amount of pride. With a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see our heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind festivals will inevitably change with time. And she's not happy about that. Now, it's about delicious fried food, amusing little games you play to win prizes. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without care. We are in the middle of class, and should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? That's right! He-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone had also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair getting up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go, why doesn't he say anything? He-chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me after the girl, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. Okay, well, like we were asking, we don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, Hee-chan, perfect. Interesting. There's something going on there. Do they have it feels like that they're worried about something. So what could that be? Maybe they've had flakes in the past. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's cliques that we don't understand yet that are going on, or maybe some weird rumors have started about us. That could explain the weird kind of dark looks between them. I just can't imagine why. The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Well, I would say, it sounds suspicious, but the thing is, we're not at a normal school. Maybe she's just having trouble dealing with something. Perhaps it's a medical thing. I would imagine they might have a standing kind of procedure where if you feel like you need to go talk to the nurse, you just go. Like, you don't even have to ask permission. Or maybe it's at the very least, maybe this is a common occurrence, which is why the teacher, while noticing she was leaving, didn't say anything. Before I have time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks a little more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. Well, we finished it all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hee-chan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. Okay. So, she must be, like, I maybe mentioned this before, but she must be deaf then. Like, I thought she just couldn't talk, because she seemed to be responding to us, but I guess it's just because she was reading. Man, sometimes I used to think it was kind of difficult to read subtitles while watching a show. I've gotten used to it now, but, like, good grief, could you imagine having to do the hand signing and being able to watch people talk? And maybe reading lips is, like, something you could do, but without being able to ever hear what people say, that could be very difficult. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune? I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really? Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. And again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and I want to take some time to get used to it. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, then it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me, as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. Never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hee-chan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, that's what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes up her glasses to the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. And you know what? Being someone who wears glasses, you can't not do that. It almost feels like asserting dominance in a weird, geeky way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and packs her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten I was supposed to have lunch with them again. Alright, so someone in the last comment pointed out that this picture looks kind of like the self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh, which I can kind of see the resemblance here, but Vincent van Gogh does not have a nose like that, and it didn't have more buck teeth. That picture, man. It's going to be haunting my dreams. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. In my old school, I'd like to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. Why are there similar places to eat here? Misha seems to imply as much. Ah, yes, this one again, once again, like, oddly, creepily looks like my high school. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in the classroom or outdoors, so some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hee-chan, you wanted to know about the clubs and stuff, right? Right? Shizune. Right, Shi-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shi-chan? Right, but it seems like they have all their members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Ah, okay, but more to the point. Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Ah, here it is. Maybe this is what the looks were about. They're gonna make a pitch for us. Student body council, maybe? She's really cute. Good, great. That's great, Hee-chan. Really great. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than the other clubs in the upcoming festival, there's only one other thing. Student council. Freaking called it. I see. Didn't know the school had a student council. That's a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. Pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha's laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it is Misha who has the voice of whatever she says. Oh, go away, pop filter. Why are you falling on me? No, get back up there. You know your place. You work for me. Sorry about that. Hahaha, right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join a student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one thing, we can hang out every day, Hee-chan. She-chan and I are both on the student council. Actually, She-chan is the president. I'm not surprised at all. I'm trying to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk with about this. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and saying something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you joined just because you'd obviously benefit from joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to... So you're admitting that. Wait, no, we're not making... I mean, Hee-chan, of course we wouldn't... It wouldn't be nice if you joined us, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to be spending time with us after school, Hee-chan? Gosh, she's saying Hee-chan a lot. Can't tell if she's being genuine or this is just a really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look at their cutest, although they're already pretty cute to begin with. Fetch, man, it's working on me. Well... So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan. This isn't a democracy, it's a freaking dictatorship. Wait, no! Aw, Hee-chan, of course he wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right. Though I thought it'd be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. Hee-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life's not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha assigns it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. She's... Haha, that's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but what this means is that both of you can team up, and I'll be the clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Hee-chan, I am very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us? We would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Oh, so that was a word that she didn't know very well. Sorry? It's hard to tell when a Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. That definitely would be tough. Oh, don't do that. Come on. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the students' council. Fetch, man. I was kind of on board, but I'm starting to get a little resentful. It's like, you guys are trying way too hard. No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, then you try to shoot it past the goalpost. The other player makes it with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. Yeah, it's also played by elementary and middle school children. She-chan. Elementary school people, She-chan? That means the game really separates the boys from the men. Well, like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, true. Oh, how did you know that, Hee-chan? Because they're trying to stack the deck against me. Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempt to get me student council president, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even know anyone who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination? Yes, that one's fair, although they could also team up against me again still. No, maybe not. I don't know what that is. It's really funny, Chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Ah, really, Shi-chan? We can play just for fun, Ii-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Ii-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Ha ha ha! I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play the game with her. Lunch ends, we go back to class. Jeez. That's it. Oh, hello. She's here again. That sales pitch, though. I don't know. It's a nice feeling to feel needed, and I definitely, like, I don't know. It kind of reflects, it's reflective of me as well, because, alright, so in my school, we had the student council, you know, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, all that stuff. And then we had the student body council, which was a separate entity, which were, effectively, they would just have a representative representing each homeroom that would attend various meetings and could vote on proposals handed down through the student council body to the student representative body. And then if it was approved, it would be submitted to the principal. It's funny because I think it's very reminiscent of a democratic system, but at the same time, ultimately the staff has power. They always depict in a lot of like anime and manga that the student council has a lot of power in the school. I don't know if that's a true thing about it being in Japan, but ours barely had enough to do much with it at all. Like, we technically could control clubs, but when it came to budgeting, like, I think it really wasn't in our hands. But I was always elected to be the student representative for my class. I wouldn't even try half the time. I just kind of got elected. And if I hadn't been such a lazy butt in high school, I think I really would have enjoyed trying to go for a student council body. Like being on student council was something I personally would have found very appealing if I'd actually just cared. I was a lazy bum. Like, I just kind of did whatever. I didn't even like do homework half the time. Like, my homework was either like 90s and hundreds or zeros because I just didn't do it in time, and then I'd do super well on the tests because I just test well and I comprehend and retain knowledge really easily compared to most people. So, like, school's a breeze for me. I wish I'd applied myself more. My biggest regret for school was the fact that I never, like, seized anything. I just kind of went with the flow, and I could have done so much more with my time there. I don't really regret my high school years. I mean, I did a lot of growing, and a lot of the person who I am now is because of those experiences. And I did, towards the very end, finally start kind of seizing my destiny, but I feel like I squandered a lot of years of just apathy. So this could be an opportunity to jump into student council, and I could see that being very appealing. However, I can't get over the mysterious long-haired girl, like who we just saw. Like, I find her fascinating. But right now I'm kind of biased towards the student council. If I'm going to be honest, but once again, I haven't really been presented with a lot of options yet. And I'm curious, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the main character here would, like there's usually a path I choose, and then there's a path that I feel the character best fits in the storyline. And when I wrap the storyline, I'll probably tell you kind of the route I think he would have gone based on what I know of him. But I'm playing this game as a reflection of me since I get to make choices. So I'm leaning towards the student council. But like I said, I need to see what the other options are first. During afternoon class, long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. Maybe later. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. Fetch! Either the student council is really, really, really struggling, or it's actually a terrible place. I feel a little offended. I've been considering it, nevertheless. I'm a little bit disturbed that even people who have to make a break, that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? Doesn't really make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. What's wrong, Ichan? That's right, we're just gonna go play a game of Risk, remember? Okay, when you say that, you're making it feel a little bit less so sure. Like, are we sure this is the game of Risk I'm familiar with? Or are you going to be like throwing dodgeballs at my face? That's risky too. I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sat down to play the game. They'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so possible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. Oh, okay. What? That's it? You guys this makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Ichan. Shree-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have a shown a capability of pulling off superhuman bursts of speed. Yeah. Is this really life critical? Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. Also, I might be a little bit biased towards this because I really enjoyed the anime that was playing recently, Love at War. Oh, so good. So good. And it's all about student council, man. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a small desk predominantly placed at the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that the room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Doesn't that mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Oh, maybe that's why they're so desperate. It's literally just the president and vice president. Before I managed to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain while we set up everything. It's a tough game to explain in one sitting, but sure. While Misha's talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spent a little too long for her liking running around through the basics of the somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Fetch! Give me a second to consolidate my troops and placement. And yeah, placement of troops in Risk is very important. Have we not set up the board? Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intend to be with it when I agree to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. What's that look for? Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. Careful, man. Australia is a fantastic fallback point. If you can avoid giving it up, it's a fantastic place to retreat to. But it sounds like she's got you. If she's attacking you on 2 fronts, you're in trouble. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no! Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Oh man. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take that as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous, sorry. Why did I say magnanimous? I can't even read English. What am I doing trying to read Japanese? Magnanimous. She doesn't seem to know what that word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it out for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temple as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Ooh, that would be impressive if she can do that so quickly. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Ah, wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. The eyes of her shine with childlike mischief. She said you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. We're being attacked on two fronts. The trouble with being attacked... Okay. Ooh, that's... I don't know if this affects my ability to do certain things, so it's interesting. Oh, this is... Okay, so like... a smaller force attacking a larger force. Being aggressive is usually the worst way to do it. Only the tactics that work aggressive from the smaller point of view are guerrilla tactics, sabotaging supply lines. But Risk does not have a system for that. But she has greater resources, and in Risk, replenishing resources is determined by how much land you have. If she has the greater land capacity, then she will always be able to bring in fresher troops, meaning that while defensively you win more battles than you lose, if I don't win enough on the defensive front, I can't stymie her aggressive assault fast enough to be able to survive. Playing Risk. The problem is, like, he could punch through, and you can actually do a really amazing punch through if you do a lineup enough, but then you're horrifically exposed. So even if that works, she'll just sweep in from behind with her second army. No, it's a trap. It's better to play defensively. It's like this. She's trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm not going to wreck it doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Aww. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself a tentative pump of fist in the air of celebration. Now I'm already curious. I want to play the other side and see like what happens if you're aggressive. Hee-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. That's actually true. Taking North America is a huge downside. I mean, Shi-chan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can't attack it. You can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. It's true. The best places to platform yourself, in my opinion, is either Australia or South America. South America only can be attacked by 2, but gets 4 reinforcements. Australia only gives you 2, but it has only 1 way of path of engagement. Asia is pointless. You should never try to hold it unless you literally control the rest of the board. Europe is interesting because it is really weak because it's easy to attack, but because it's in the center, everyone else is tentative to engage whoever holds Europe, because if they weaken themselves too much, they could be flanked. So I actually have won a few games using the Europe strategy, but it's definitely not a guarantee. I also haven't played the game in a long time, and now I really want to play Risk again. I thought you'd get more guts. How disappointing. Ah, fetch! I made the wrong choice. Ambition, Hee-chan. You need to be more. It needs to be more daring. Ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That is no good, Hee-chan. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't fall through. That's terrible, Hee-chan. Dang it! Oh, I'm about to ruin the path I was already thinking going down. Dang, what's with her if I... What's it to her if I play too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd ever be good for student council. What's this? Reverse psychology? No. I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. I'm expecting more of me too! I'm pissed off now, dang it! Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me to join the council? Because I don't think I even want to join. It's only the 2nd day and I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at the other clubs yet, and these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the other clubs before I decide. Really, Hee-chan? You know, just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure that I want to. Aww. Okay, Hee-chan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come Come on, we really have fun. We could play more Risk. Maybe one day you could beat me, unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game you know then. Give you a handicap. I might have said that just to make you feel better after all. Oh, that is cold, Ichan. Take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I want to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard could it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library's open. It's on the second floor. I can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No, thanks. That's okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. That looked terrible. Whoa! Okay, that one's even creepier. Fetch that picture. Oh, now I'm mad. I should have gone aggressive. Well, I don't know how picky these routes are. Is that could have closed off routes for me? It's possible. Depends on how, like I said, how strict the game is. But we'll see. We'll see. Might be able to recover now because it has a point. I just personally, I know, like in Risk, the real game, that being like defensive, you're more likely to win in a defensive fight against an opponent, even if they outnumber you. No, unless they really, really outnumber you. But still, it's like being aggressive might have been kind of impressive, but there's no way we would have won that. Like based on what she was describing at the game board. But she does have a point. Sometimes being aggressive is really important. Anyway, one flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Right, of course, and plain, like all hallways can be. Problem is that the library's whereabouts are not easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar, so I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means someone's inside, and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push open the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Oh, that's creepy. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Whoa. What? Who? Why is she like sleeping? This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figures taking center stage in an otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Well, what kind of voice should I give her, I wonder? Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me of that she's being separated from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if she carefully choreographed beforehand. I click curse you hand. Care to take a seat? Unexpectedly, considering that I intruded upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting a teacup and saucer on a wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means that she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. She's very poised, almost like she's got almost like a queenly composure. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Good grief, why am I just blah? Sorry, I really shouldn't have been able to say that one. Yeah, I transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Satao. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. Seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have a workaround for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offered preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often the classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamachi, and as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Mato. She gives a small giggle before sitting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Wow. Fascinating. Fancy. Alright, this is... I'll show the image. Interesting. I like the music, too. The music selection for this part is very good. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'll be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem like she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes? Correct. I am in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. Well, I mean, it's not an insult. I feel like slapping myself for the fox passe. Is that right? I'm pretty sure that's a French originating word, and I'm not sure if I'm familiar enough with it. I'm sure I've heard it, but kind of like Kudiat and Muv-Love. It gave me no end of trouble. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segued into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of a place behind the school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are track and field clubs, which use the fields near the schools during lunchtime, the basketball club, and the book club in the club room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such things slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Very nice. Ooh. As I look over the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room as it has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh? The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come from as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's fine. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. Might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still notably folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigation skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. It's getting better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped into the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, where Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and into the empty hallway the way of the library. Oh, that picture. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walked through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door of the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking lead as we file in. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and stop here for now, just because I don't want this to go on too long, and we have quite a lot to digest anyway. Fetch, fetch, fetch! That freaking risk game. I already feel like I'm messing things up. I just need to learn. Every time I play these types of games, I overthink it. And if I overthink it, I always choose the wrong answer. So I should just go with my gut and just not like rush headlong into what I'm thinking. That's unfortunate. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm hoping all hope's not lost yet, but it depends on the visual novel. Like Steins Gate, it literally, like, if you missed one flag, you were done with getting the true ending. So it depends on this one if it's like flag checks, where like you literally have to hit all the right checkpoints in order for it to be a potential option at the end, or if it's point based. And if it's point based, I'll have a lot more control in that regard. Because it's ultimately about like who you prioritize spending time with and and not just the conversation. So they're always a big part of that. It would be nice if it gives you the chance to like get to know people enough to be able to kind of know where those like key points and key decisions might be, but at the same time, the best way to play a visual novel is just to play it like yourself and just see what happens. You know, so like you can pick a girl that you want to try and pursue, but it doesn't always work out that way, and sometimes for the better because it doesn't. So we'll have to see what happens. And I still haven't met all the potential friends that we can meet, so I'm sure there's gonna be more to learn about. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me once again. It's a pleasure having you here. There's also, like, we're gonna see which path I get first, and then what I'll probably do is when I do the rap party, which if you're new to the channel, when I finish a series, I pick a Saturday evening to do a live stream where I just kind of talk about my overall feeling about a particular visual novel, like a plus and minuses, perks and such, of like what I thought. It's an opportunity where I can invite those of you who are watching, especially if you have a passionate like connection with this particular visual novel, where I invite you to come on and chat with me live about what you liked and didn't like about the game. When I do that one, I'll probably, my plan is to play like most of, if not all the other routes, so I can give a really strong, like, oh, this is my favorite path, based on like all of it. But like, I already can kind of tell because I'm so curious that I'm going to immediately do some parallel playing because I want to see like what some choices would have led me down. So we'll see. But other than that, I'm excited to play this one. Like, I haven't played a game like this one in a while with like a choice system and multiple routes that are like very like Mud Love is the best one I can think of, but that one's very hands off. Like, there's very few choices you make in that one. This one seems to be a bit more dating simmy type of one, so we'll just have to see. But anyway, I can't wait to share these adventures with you. Thank you so much for being here today, and until the next video you're watching me, I would have to see me next. I'll see you there.